Hey friends, looking for a challenge with your poi? Well, this is the one that has kept me going for the past few months, and I'd like to share it with you. Drex here from DrexFactor Poi, sharing with you the love of poi spinning and flow arts to benefit your body and brain. And today, I'm breaking down a poi move I have been playing with for several months now that I'm calling a G Snatch. But before we dive in, I want to give a quick shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Dark Monk, Flow Fests, Flow Toys, Pyroterra Light Toys, and Ultra Poi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can learn more about all these amazing companies and the work that they're doing to support flow artists like yourself by checking out the links down in the description of this video. And special thanks to the non-business friend of the channel, Becca Bekkonen. Thank you so very much for supporting my channel, my work, and my mission. So it has been a long time since I have uploaded any videos on poi tricks that I have been playing around with that would be considered new or even newish. And quite frankly, this one still probably wouldn't be considered new. I first started playing around with this idea in a tech blog that dates way back to 2013, but it wasn't until recently that I really started practicing it in earnest as its own unique kind of movement. So the essential idea here is that we're taking the poi as it is, say, stalled in any particular direction, and boom, we are just kind of snapping on the tether a little bit to pull it around back towards our hand and catching it when that happens. Now, the thing is, this actually reminds me quite a bit of a trick from back in the day that we used to call a G-pop, where you snap the tether in order to get the poi to move back and forth between different positions, usually up and down. And because of that, I have been referring to it as a G Snatch in my head. Now, please note, there are other people playing around with this trick out there, and I have no idea what they may call it, but for the purposes of this video, I'm calling it a G Snatch, and if consensus arrives around calling it something different, it'll be down in the comments beneath this video in the future. But I did want to break down for you all kind of the basics of how this trick works, as well as how I have been drilling it, because I've been having a lot of fun with it. So to get down some of the basics, let's just start off with a pendulum going back and forth from side to side of our hand. And at either side here, I can kind of yank on the tether right quick to send the poi head careening across a horizontal line. Please note, I do not want this to be a point where I'm just doing a pendulum. My hand is raising up above and then dropping back down. I really truly want the poi to go across the same horizontal line that my hand is, and this will be important in just a second. All right, so if you've gotten to a point where you feel pretty comfortable just kind of snapping that poi head back and forth across you like so, then it's time to start working on the actual catch itself. All right, so to make this work, we got to talk about grip. The first thing to understand is that whenever I'm doing this snap and going to a catch, I am kind of pinching the handle in this little shape that I'm creating by hooking my index finger around and pushing it tightly against the palm of my hand. That way I have my other three fingers as well as my thumb available to do the catch, like so. Once I've made the catch, I'm still holding on to that handle with that little crook in my index finger, but I'm mainly gripping the poi between my thumb and pinky, and depending upon the dexterity of your hand, you might be able to bring in additional fingers fairly easily, but this is where the bulk of my grip strength comes from. And of course, once you've done the catch, you can push the poi right back out again, like so. So we catch with our thumb and pinky, and we toss the poi back out. We can also do this when we're, say, stalling down or stalling up. In both of these cases, I'm really thinking that I'm yanking on the tether, even with the upstall. Yes, I know that technically speaking, I could just leave my hand there to catch the poi as it's falling back down. But the effect that I really want here is to really almost seem like a yo-yo getting pulled back into my palm, like so. So basically, I count 4 specific ways that this can be done. Namely, it can be done off to the non-native side, it can be done off to the native side, it can be done from a down stall, it can be done from an up stall, like so. And that also means that we can drill this in a systematized fashion. So say I can start off with my poi spinning in together same, do stalls up, and then catch, and then release, and switch back to the other side of my body, boom, and make catches there. In fact, I can just essentially use some tuck turns to send the poi back and forth across my body, catching them on either side. And by the same token, I can do this off of down stalls, going to either side of my body, either taking tuck turns up and around my shoulders, or just a little flower petal up top. But either way, I can get in a series of reps with these down stalls and making the catches happen. For the ones out to the side, it's a little bit harder, and quite frankly, I'm just usually doing these off of pendulums, letting the poi go out to the sides and then pulling the back to catch them, like so. And this also means that we can do the same drill in other timing and direction modes, like say together opposites, where once again, I can do these stalls and catches on the outside as well as the inside, getting both my center line as well as my peripheral. And of course, I can do the same thing with the down stalls, pulling up on the inside, pulling up on the outside. Getting the outside and the inside ones are a little bit more challenging. What I've been finding is I want to start with a butterfly and then just do pendulums and catch them as they come in, and then go across, boom, and catch them as they go back across. And again, we want to do several reps of this going back and forth. When we get to split timings, it basically rules out the pieces to the sides simply because coming out of a stall versus out of a pendulum, you wind up with slightly different momentum characteristics on the two poi. So say if I wanted to go out to the side like that, or like that, it gets a little crazy. It is possible, but it gets a little crazy. So in the meantime, what I've been doing to get more consistent work on this is to do up and down together, like so. First with my right hand, always doing the down stalls, and then with my left hand, always doing the down stalls, like so. And then that takes us to split time same direction, which combines together all of the most obnoxious elements of both together opposite as well as split time opposites, wherein both we have to do both an up and a down at the same time, as well as do the ones on the periphery of our vision too. So once again here, there's right always going up and left always going down. And of course the version where it's always left going up and right going down. So this gives you a good framework to begin practicing these and getting accustomed to them in all the different timing and direction modes. But there's also another version of this that I think is really fun that kind of inverts the physics of this first version of the G Snatches. So basically, instead of doing the snap and bringing the poi head to my hand, I can instead bring my hand out to the poi head like so. This has this really nice kind of arresting effect to it, essentially where we find that things are just kind of frozen in midair. And of course, the flip side to this is that we want to kind of release the tether back out as though it were always kind of hanging there to begin with. And truth be told, I think that this creates some pretty marvelous effects when the two of them are used together. And of course, the obvious question, why have I been playing around with these so much lately? And the answer to that is they actually make for a fantastic addition to my style of poi dance. I can be using these, boom, as a way to engage in suspensions, which have long been a bugbear for me when it comes to poi spinning. They are a way that I can easily stop the poi from moving when my body does, and take a moment to, say, strike a pose. So there you go, G Snatches. Do you play around with these too? Let me know down in the comments. And yeah, also let me know if there's another name for these that I am not aware of. Please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to help other people find this video, and of course, to help my channel grow. This video would not be possible without my amazing supporters on Patreon. In particular, I'd love to give a shout out to my Flow patrons who are listed on screen right now. Y'all rock. Thank you so much. And if you out there watching are not currently a supporter, but you'd like to become one, you can do that by signing up on Patreon over at patreon.com/DrexFactorPoi. There you can get access to a whole host of awesome rewards, and even better than that, you'll be able to help me out in my mission to bring poi spinning and flow arts to the whole wide world. So go check that out, please and thank you. And if you'd like to learn about some other methods that I use for doing suspensions with poi, I did a video on all the methods that I had access to a couple years ago. I will go ahead and link to that down in the description, as well as up on screen if you're watching on YouTube. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to get out and flow today, and I'll see you with a new video real soon. Take care now. Peace.